Welcome back to the VTuber News. This is Salvi, the one who resides on the right side of your screen most of the time, and I'm here now just to remind you guys that I do have a goal for, at the very least, until my birthday in June. I would love to be able to reach 20k subscribers, so if you could please subscribe and continue to watch these videos whenever you have a chance, I would really appreciate it. Just a small reminder, of course, and do enjoy the rest of the video. Revs says Desu is somebody who is well known in the VTuber space. They are a VTuber commentator, someone who comments on many things out there, whether it be, political or whatever. And he is at least alleged to be a lolicon enjoyer. And that is what has caused this big stink right now, which is also involving his wife, Darling Straub, who is another VTuber out there. Let's go for this first. Rev and Straub are pulling a reverse iDubbbz and Anissa and are now distancing themselves from their pro-fiction, pro-lolly stance. Kenny Sue, you were right, mate. MS never cared about this S. What are we talking about here? Let's open this image in a new place here. It says, did you clarify and appreciated it? That's why I said Straub and Rev's history, especially since people have been walking away from the wrong impression of where I stand on all of this. I needed to clarify this to them. Also, never said defending. However, you do understand that for the most part, Rev is still currently known for connected to the lolly stuff, right? This was common knowledge to seemingly everyone but me since I didn't watch his stuff, and now is being tied to it by many people. I will try and be as transparent and clear as if this were DMs. If this stuff does not just go away, I posted our conversation because it's fruitful in my opinion, but because I didn't say anything, many people were left confused and with a terrible impression where I stood on all of this. And it says Rem, the starting Straub says, Rev has been clear that he feels the same way I do. You can see that even in one of the comments in the community post, I believe, someone mentioned how it came up in his last stream, and he clarified his position. As Christians, we shouldn't defend porn in any form, and we didn't. And maybe you didn't defend, I understand, but sometimes, but he's known as someone as a lolly defender. He's a lolly defender, lolicon defender. Maybe not like the ones that hurt people, but he's a lolly defender. He's absolutely a lolly defender. Whether that's his stance or not, I really don't have a stance on that. I'm like, whatever, you do you. But he's known to be a lolly defender. At least as from what I recall, he's known to be a lolly defender, allegedly. And it says, our past, I think, would be helpful to clarify what I currently believe. And it's already needing to share DM specifically. But I would have no issue with you making it clear. I feel the same way I do. So does Rev. I do understand wanting to clarify your position, but I just do wish you would make our stances more clear, so people don't think either me or Rev or think lolicon is good. He has been at least alleged to have defended it in the past. Says, tagging Kenny because I figured you might want to know about this. Looking for the last minute additions to my next video. I'll make a fine addition to my collection. Here, Andreas. Will you believe that Espiritu was one of those who originally dropped this information? His avatar is a lolly in it. Yep. When was the last Rev lolly defense video? Good question. Isn't Straub born again Christian? Like, what did y'all expect? Her not saying the quiet part out loud is knowing her husband's core audience is built around pro lolly and pro fiction. How much do you want to bet they're saying this to get the heat off of their collective asses? Chibi Reviews basically ruined the whole pro-fiction conversation with his asinine and annoying ass. Rev and Straub probably smell blood in the water and are trying to distance themselves from the whole thing. I mean, if they are, that is what it is. But it's best when they do separate it. Like, this is something that Rev said in March 2021. Yummy lolly, of course, people are always going to be pointing out to things that you do and say in the past when they're trying to get some gotchas. So, I'm just putting stuff out there. You guys say whether it's a gotcha or not. You guys decide. It says, if you're a Christian, you should be condemning all types of porn. None of it is good. If it's porn, it's degenerate and bad for your soul. Surprised that people are confused by this. Iran has a theocratic government you long for, right? That's why I did an entire stream criticizing their government. Just a genuine question because I think most people who are curious may be confused about your stance. Do you believe that porn should be illegal? Do you keep saying bad or immoral? I'm asking because your main fan base are the lolicon defenders. I think it's pertinent for you to clarify. Generally, don't get how people are confused. I made my stance and feelings very clear. Just read my other replies. I don't owe anyone any more of an explanation. Also, that is not my main fan base. Not sure where you got that idea from. That is, she's right. It's not her main fan base. It is Rev's main fan base. We're going here with things that he says. Here it says, Chibi Review says, screenshot this tweet. Build my community on being anti-censorship and will defend fictional content no matter how much trouble or sponsorships I lose. If I ever say my core fan base doesn't share this belief, use this tweet against me. Never let me live it down or forget. It's April 9th. Rev is the most anti-censorship person ever and has made it clear that it hasn't changed. Now he's getting all these weird comments of people thinking otherwise because people cannot read. Just because he doesn't want to consume that stuff himself. doesn't mean he is pro-censorship. I have to worry about saying it too much. I do apologize for that. Last few tweets are disappointing, causing more drama for no reason. Strop, I respect you and Rev immensely. I understand beliefs change with time. However, your core fan base and Revs has always been anti-censorship and pro-lolly. You even follow NSFW lolly accounts right now. It's just strange to see this stance. You dislike porn, that's fine, but can you clarify if you actually want it to be banned or not? Any account that still posted stuff has been muted, and I only keep the mutuals because I care about them as people. I don't really see why that's relevant, but I have said this before. You could have kept this private and asked us in DMs. Oh, so they wanted all this to be stay in DMs, of course, because it looks bad for them. If you're confused, but Rev's stance literally hasn't changed. He doesn't want anything to be banned or anything. I don't get it. You're just causing more trouble with these vague posts. Why can't you answer the question? Literally just did. Also, people conflating things as if we have called anyone that name a PDF or fictional content when we don't. I'm honestly more upset than anything that I opened my mouth and said anything. Now Rev has to deal with all your people being so insufferable. I'm done. Or do you think it should be illegal? Answer my question. Honestly, my gut reaction is to change the culture and not make strict laws. So she's still not answering the question. And the other people screenshotted it, said base. I don't get why she's avoiding the lolly question. Literally said that is bad, which implies the same or bad as what, the adult stuff. That's the confusing part here. Being against that as a Christian isn't, but deciding to lump lolly when Rev uses that type of model is still confusing. And here, you fail to learn anything, backstabbed an entire fanbase that made your own husband famous. People are rightfully mad at the betrayal. She could tank the heat and run away. She couldn't tank the heat and run away, but the F are you expecting would happen to Donning Straub, the whole situation. She's content is transitioning to politics in general. He's basically turning into anime Asmongold. Yeah, he has. I mean, that it is what it is. You guys take it however you want. That's basically what's happening there. He has his response, which I'm going to put out here. Since apparently this has to be said, my stance on censorship has not changed. No, liking lolly doesn't make you pedophile, or PDF. No, that and other taboo fictional content should not be censored. No, you shouldn't be harassed over fictional content if it's weird and degenerate. Yes, you should be allowed to make your own choices with the fictional content you consume. I've been very open about coming back to Christ about a year ago. I don't want to be engaging in the subjects, especially covering in the more explicit aspects of it. The same manner as I used to. This is what I am comfortable with. I hope people can respect the boundary. However, it does not mean that my stances have changed in a general sense. People have the right to choose what fictional content they consume personally, and shouldn't be harassed for certain artwork subject to censorship because of its nature. I have said nothing to the contrary. Things could have been worded more clearly. From Straub, this entire conversation seemed to stress her out a lot, and she admitted not handling it in the best way. But comparing me or her to aunties without even waiting for an explanation is jumping the gun. Going on here. And we have been defending people censored and harassed for over these topics for years, and constant harassment, threats, and slander directed towards us. Core audience knows how I feel about this, and I hope to clarify some things. And yeah, she goes back and says, I definitely didn't handle things the best. And yeah, they said that they didn't handle things the best. And moving forward, they should handle it much better. Yes, right in the beginning, used watch the content, called them out multiple times for downplaying Grums. Scam is still propping them up, called them out for endorsing murders. Always told people to SDF about the lolly stuff. That's responding to this person who's defending them. And here is a clip of something that's going on here. Totally G, here's Revs himself talk about the whole thing. Yes, I'm clipping you because people aren't talking about you not consuming that stuff, but because people are aware of your defense of the more general material. Remember the thing about Luginica ReZero in Season 3?
Powerless with a $5 super chat saying, sorry, I don't wish to stir up drama, but Straub said you're anti-LollyCon in Remnant video and us lolly lovers are confused. Please clarify. I did see some people trying to bring up some random quote of that, and that's literally not at all what anybody's saying. The fact is that we don't consume that stuff because we're not consuming LollyCon because we don't look at porn. Things have completely changed. People's reading comprehension on that is absolutely deranged, and the weird thing is people are using aunties who are trying to make that conversation. The conversation she said is that lolly is a body type, just like I've said for years and years, and yes, fetishes like that are degenerate. That's something that I've said for years and years, and my stance.
So there you go. That's his main stance on it. Degenerate, but he defends people that are doing it. And yeah, he kind of went angry and went on the defensive, as you could say, he should do and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I did want to let you guys know about this, and you let me know what you think in the comments down below. Ooh, subliminal messaging. Follow the squirrel. Subscribe to the squirrel. This is not a psyop. This is just me being a dumbass. Ooh, subscribe. Hoshimachi Suisei is a female VTuber who recently I had been talking about because she he made her studio stellar in order to be able to, do her own things separately. And today we're talking about her because she's got into a bit of moment where she has to correct her fan base. She's going to be part of this whole thing here, which is 4.5. It is going to be a thing that she's going to be a part of. It looks like a festival. Echoes the event here, Central 26. Echoes BAA is a creative event produced by Echoes, which includes Yaosabi and a bunch of people here. Iconic red brick building is stage for live performances by artists spanning a wide range of genres. So that's what she's going to be a part of. She's going to be a part of here with, different people there. Let's see what she's going to be talking about. I'm going to show you what she talks about in a little bit right after this. I think Suisei really diving into some pretty radical experiments that make most of the VTuber framework, but because their fan base has this super conservative vibe, like messing around with S stuff, cute calls, and all that sort of thing, it feels like there will be issues. Feels like there might be some serious disconnect happening on that front. And this person responds by saying, Sweet-chan really doesn't get her own audience at all, huh? 99% of our Idol Master or Love Live otaku, or general V otaku. Yet she seems to think her listeners are the cool, outgoing types who hit up hookah bars, or, the smoking bars, or outdoor festivals. Regarding this incident, even fans who got into it through at least the SAO at the fest were doing similar stuff. So in the end, it feels like there are always some inconsiderate folks everywhere. I get it. There's precisely why you want to thin out the annoying fans. It feels like they want to be seen as not an idol, but an artist, though the company is an idol agency after all. The whole VTuber genre is full of people who get into it from the artwork or the gotcha. You're just thinking if you can't switch, then get lost. And you guys stop it. It's embarrassing. That's how I understood the story. So here we go. Let's take a listen a little bit what she's saying here.
ことがあるんだよ。ぶっちゃけちゃおうかなと思っております。お前たち仲良くできないんかほんまにでツイートしたと思うんですけれども、心当たりない方で心配に思わせてしまったかもしれません。本当に申し訳ございません。SNS ほぼみんな SNS をほぼ見ていないあなた、とても賢明な判断かと思っております。昨今の SNS 自分の意見を押し付けるもう化け物がたくさんおります。見ないというのは本当にね、精神衛生上よろしいのではないかと。SNS はですね、もうレスバ会場となっております。潮見に関してもですね、レスバ会場になっておりまして。So yeah,
she's talking about that part right there, and let's get to the main one here.
思いますけど、本当はさ今日さ肉を叩くゲームやりながらさこういう話しようと思ってたんだけど、肉を叩くゲーム開くとバカほど重いということに気づいた。ちょっと開いてみていい？重い。
So yeah, there are people who are pushing the idol purity, I think, too much on her. She doesn't like it, which I can fully understand. And I fully support her in this. I do hope that she is able to, continue doing her stuff and not care about the people out there. We have gone over in a VOD recently, live stream VOD is what I'm talking about, over the whole thing of SYKKUNO and the recent thing that popped up with him being a cheater, liar, manipulator, whatever you want to call him. And we have, of course, Himomel. I am probably pronouncing it wrong. I'm very apologetic for that one. But they did expose SYKKUNO as serial cheater, master manipulator, and dangerous predator. And they, of course, ended up showcasing all of their misdeeds there. Which, makes sense that they would do that. One thing that I wanted to focus on, though, was something that happened with Bao. Bao specifically. Which is during a section called SYKKUNO's Girlfriend. Coincidence that would lead me to finding out the truth about SYKKUNO happened last week. Actually, as of the 10th, it was the week before. Popular male VTuber tried to slide into my DMs to presumably get into my pants, and when I rejected him, he immediately started to mention nasty rumors about Bao. Out of concern for her, I reached out to a mod who then connected me with Bao. The three of us struck up a conversation. When I mentioned I was nervous about a date I was going on, they asked me who it was. When I said a date was with SYKKUNO, they immediately told me not to go on the date for my own personal safety. Bao told me that at the end of March. SYKKUNO's girlfriend reached out to her regarding a controversial tweet by Bao. This tweet over here that I'm going to talk to you in a little bit, but first let me go over this. She asked Bao if it was true if the tweet was about SYKKUNO. The tweet is this one. The one of, if you're an up-and-coming female content creator with a small but growing audience and a much larger and successful male content creator approaches you out of nowhere and showers you with attention, on stream, in DMs, etc., don't walk, run. Just because I don't include every single nuance, exception, possibility, and variation doesn't mean we're not still having the same conversation. Stay safe, gang. And that was They called Bao and explained to her that other women had confided in her about similar experiences with him. She described a pattern of behavior where he targeted small female content creators, pressured them into having, relations with him. Bao then offered to connect her with these other victims so they could share their experiences with her directly, as she felt it was important to hear her firsthand. It's all discussed during a Discord call. This was the whole thing about her. There was possibly an instance of SYKKUNO trying to get to VTuber girls up to his hotel room to drink with them, and a tweet you made about being cautious of large male streamers showering with gifts attention was about him in regards to him doing it to one of your friends. And that was the thing that's redacted is the girlfriend's name. Bao told me 3 days ago, before I contacted her in her mod, SYKKUNO and his girlfriend were trying to reconcile after SYKKUNO somehow managed to convince her that it was all a huge misunderstanding. Again, that's where the manipulation comes in. She had no clue that I, as well as many other girls, that existed in SYKKUNO's romantic and sexual life. Because he, actually did sleep with some women, not with him, as far as I know, but with other women, while he was still dating his girlfriend, while he was still living with his girlfriend. And again, when this happened, Bao got a lot of flack for this, called a man hater, etc. It was vague enough where, yes, it did seem like just a out of nowhere, out of left field strike at everyone who is a male content creator and is a successful male content creator, but taking it into specific context here, it makes sense why she would make that, because she's been hearing things about SYKKUNO, which is a large male content creator, love bombing and doing things like that to people in order to get stuff from them. And usually, either pictures or actual relationships with them or sexual relations or anything like that. It is sad that there's one thing that I put back then. Sad that there are victims who also get gaslit into believing it was their fault or it didn't happen by the friends of the victimizer or even people they open up to. That is something that I put during that time because I did feel that it was something that was needed during that time and something that was absolutely necessary. On October 26th, I responded to it. Other people who have talked about it probably won't show it, but I responded to it in that way. And then Shondo goes with Truth Impact, get down, Madam President. When you're a streamer, party event, and the convention with other girls, so oh my god, he did that to me too, which is what's happening now. People are like, oh my goodness, he did that to me too. And we are moving on to Rima Evenstar, who goes and says, Holy S. Bao's controversial tweet in October was actually about SYKKUNO. And over there, about the thing that I just showed you. And here, about, Bao's tweet, where people are like, was it about SYKKUNO or was it about Misgift? Although I guess by default it applies to both, but this is why vague posting helps no one. True, the reason why she got a lot of hate, whether she was right or wrong, was a vague post. She was hitting people, she was hitting strays, she was hitting people, I don't know, I'm not sure that's actually the correct way of saying it, probably isn't, but she was hitting people that she didn't even need to hit. She was hitting everybody who was a male content creator, who was a larger male content creator. No nuance in the tweet, which is why she was attacked for it. And I do agree that there was no nuance in the tweet. And I don't agree of all, that she should have been attacked the way that she was, but I do agree that the tweet itself did not have any nuance. And that is why people decided to attack. It was a vague post. People don't like vague posts. That's just the way it is. Didn't she say it in reply about Misgift? The fact that people got mad at her for this tweet in the first place is dumb. Her tweet was on par with telling women to watch their drinks in a bar club. Why would you be getting mad at basic advice? True on that one. I do understand that. Always bigger, more famous person you gotta be worried or suspicious about. I mean, why would a bigger creator suddenly help out to support someone specific, continuously, not a one-time thing? What would they gain? It's a legit loss on their side. So yeah, that is something that is true. If you're just looking at it as a zero-sum game, then yes, you're going to be looking at it with gains, losses, etc. And it says, I just finished watching Mujin's video on this. Remember the tweet too should be commended for looking out for other content creators. She took a lot of crap for that tweet. 100% didn't deserve it. I'll be tuning in at noon my time when you start your stream. Basically, continuing on here, Pengu, another person that was, warning people of, bigger content creators and things like that, says, oh, that's another big content creator getting canceled for things I got in hot water for, warning my friends about years ago. Down here it says, it's effing wild to read because literally everybody knew. Bao's words on the subject remain evergreen. And over here, never go to LA. I'm tired of seeing narrative of VTubers are horrible, whatever things explode. The problem is the community is oversaturated, so of course there are bad eggs in there, which SYKKUNO is a VTuber as well. But also everyone's still human despite us being cute anime people. It's sad, but bound to happen. Cannot believe it took 10 plus years. Cannot believe how many people ran my name into the mud for thinking I was wrong. with how many times this has happened. I just trust you. I sit in my corner. Over here is also saying I'm an actual nobody, and I can count on a lot of my fingers. People not even in that dock. So don't ever let those chuckle Fs in this circle gaslight about this one, folks. Adu says, about the being wild. It's like, don't ever let people don't let yourself get gaslit. A lot of people will try to gaslight you. Oh, it's this or that, or try to convince you it's not them, or try to convince you it was just, a weird situation, a single time, etc., etc., trying to diminish what happened. And continuing on here, we have Elio, who also said it 6 months ago, and I'll say it again. Realest tweet you ever made up, not gonna lie. Of course, it's situational, but the amount of stories and things I hear from other girls is horrendous. Always surround yourself with trustworthy people that can be very honest with you about these types of male content creators. Yes. And it says, yeah, most I can do is close my DMs and never add random people, and honestly helped a lot. It just stay safe. That's the main thing. Stay safe. I don't comprehend why people get pissy with Bao back then, because even without context, I just assumed she worded the post poorly. So now, not knowing the context, though, bloody hell, hugs, and love to all the victims of the guy. Yeah, hugs, of course, to the victims. Go out to the victims, because it's freaking horrible that they were manipulated in that way. And of course, Bao, in her replies, reposted the thing about Mujin. To all the victims worried about any sort of backlash, don't be. They're all the same accounts. This platform makes it seem like they have a voice by consistently pushing negative replies first. It's all noise. I encourage you all to speak about your experiences. They matter. And I encourage that too. Absolutely speak about your experiences. Absolutely don't let yourself be shut up about it. If someone mistreats you, talk about it. If someone manipulates you in this way, talk about it. If someone does negative things like this, talk about it. And personally, this is why I don't go and talk to people behind DMs when it comes to romantic things at all anymore. Because I used to do that when I was younger. Stop doing that now. There's too much in the middle that can be misconstrued. I'm a dumbass who's autistic, and I don't really know how to word things properly. I just don't. If I can't say it in public, if I can't say it publicly to somebody, or like in words, I just don't say it. It's I've gotten myself into trouble like in high school, college, and such, with just the way that I can word things wrong, and then people misconstruing it, not about romantic things, about other things. So I just make sure not to say anything at all, because it can lead to more issues. But in this case, yes, for the victims, that's something different than what I just said. For the victims, speak out. Let it be known. Let it be known that he did this to so many more people. Do not let him fall into obscurity. Do not let him fall into, people be like, it was a thing that happened a month ago, 2 months ago. Always remind people of what he did. Holoindie, which is a game brand created by Cover Corporation for Hololive fan games, where you can use Hololive IPs for things that you want to do. Holo Village is a pretty much almost like Tomodachi Life, or other cozy games like that I had spoken about, I think several weeks ago by now. And they have an update. It is release date finally announced. Holo Village, Our Cozy Days finally launches on Steam April 24th. And it is at 5 p.m. JST, 1 a.m. PDT. Brand new trailer is out now. As you can see down here, the full trailer is this. Then you have Pekora, you have Okayu and Azuki. You have Bibu there, and Suisei in the background. It's a cozy game. It's reminds me of Animal Crossing as well. A lot of it, Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, all that type of stuff there. And you can fish. You can use like Subaru there, who's cutting down some trees, getting some apples. And you have it's kind of a linear game as well, where you have an actual thing you want to finish up, actual places you can visit. It's not so much open world itself, and it has open sections where it's like larger maps. You have battles here you can see here, go into dungeons. Pekora there, the Nosagis. And you have Mio not being able to flip the egg properly. And, other things. So you can create your own character. You can do some based on other designs. You can customize it all you want. It has a lot of things. You have Amelia Watson, which, they can use any current, previous, etc. Different designs, different ones out there for this. And I'm glad to be able to show this to you guys because it is awesome. Let's take a look here. It will be still a wish list. Doesn't have the actual time, because it hasn't come out yet. Doesn't have the expected price, but usually these can be anywhere from like $15 to $20 around there, usually when they want to make a little bit of money. that Holoindie is going to be the main one that's going to be publishing this out there. And it is great to see people are very, very excited. Ame, how much is the game going to cost? People are wondering because they want to be able to save. And there you go. That's a Watame one, I believe. It'll be there no matter what. So people are very, very excited. And so am I. And now we move on to a little bit of lighter news, happier news. Limina Alteri, part of Glitch Stars Erunia. As you can see, these are all the members of Glitch Stars Erunia here. And we are going to be talking about them specifically because they have had their birthday celebration. Limina has logged in. They use the hashtag birthday not found 26 if you want me to read your messages on stream, April 10th. And this is her birthday stream, which is continuously going at the time of recording this, but I'm showing you the beginnings.
Diarrhea would stop, but now all of that bacterial infection is going to stay in my stomach.
Boy, did I choose the perfect time to go in. This was not planned. I just chose a random time. Boy.
And she was like, you don't want that. And she said, you have to wait for the fecal test, just in case it is a bacterial infection and it's not just viral.
That's poop test, by the way.
The urgent care doctor was very like, I'm pretty sure it's viral. And I even told her, I was like, oh, my sister's a doctor, and she mentioned like that it could be bacterial, and the lady was like, nah, like it should probably just viral. I mean, I use that now because if I do that, everyone always gives me a younger age. So I just, you know, now I get it. I get why people do it.
By using like certain age, what's going on there? Let's continue on. So yeah, she had a lot of fun. She was
try playing Bunny Garden again. I feel like, you know, I didn't like Bunny Garden as much as I thought I would, and as much as everybody else liked it. I don't know, but maybe my bar is too high now. File or RAR file. And
showing off the acrylic keychains and other things there. She's showing off some things in the background, the crew neck t-shirts, the keychains, the other things there as well, mugs and desk mats and things like that they have there, and also had a couple of call-ins with some friends.
I forgot to get some water and stuff, so I'll be right back, chat. I'm gonna throw you on the beer really just for like fucking alcoholics trying not to be alcoholics. You know what I mean?
No. Like nowadays, it is true that like a lot of young people are switching over to like non-alcoholic stuff, and also like non-alcoholic wines, which that's cool.
So yeah, she had lots of fun, as well as, you know, having some minesweeper things here with other friends that she has. She's Shabatonia and others there. So she's having some fun with many friends and just doing her thing. Big congratulations and big happy birthday. I did want to leave off with that in the video because I wanted to make sure that at the very least it ended on a happy note. Appreciate you guys being here. Of course, let me know any comments that you have down below.
Or something. It's similar. Sonic inflation is you can actually see whether the world is in crisis.
That is what I was thinking. That's exact. She's going the exact way. That's another thing. You can always check a fandom's inflation index by looking up their specific inflation. You can go Sonic inflation, Knuckles inflation. You can go Mario inflation. You can go Bowser inflation. You can go all that kind of stuff. You look at the inflationary index of the things, the economy, the way the economy is going in the community, in order to find out whether or not, you know, the inflationary forces of the world economy is affecting the community. So if you ever want to know if there's inflation when it comes to you, a community that you love, a person that you love, as I'm getting beat up, a character that you love, all you have to do is go on Google and search up your character plus inflation, and it will tell you, you know, if there's like, you know, a certain percentage of inflation in the community itself. Thank you guys for watching as always. And of course, take a look. And if you enjoy everything, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, all those things that YouTube asks of you. Really do appreciate you. Have a wonderful day.